San Jose to get ready to fight. What was it like at that age, being a young man, chasing a dream, not knowing where it would take you? How excited were you back then about being a fighter, and where did you think you would end up?
You know what? I just, from growing up around here, going to Hilo High, just growing up right around these same areas, all these streets or whatever, but I only did jiu-jitsu for fun. Even when my dad started to try to push me into jiu-jitsu, it's kind of like he sent me to college kind of like that way, but you know, he kind of like always pushed me into jiu-jitsu. I never really thought about it like to be my whole life, to be everything. I remember when I was flying up on the airplane, there was somebody sitting next to me, an older lady sitting next to me, and I said, you know, I think I found the thing that I'm going to do. I was like 17. I said, I think I found the thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. All I ever wanted to do was just get a gym, get my jiu-jitsu black belt, be the black belt world champion, travel around the world, do seminars. I thought that'd be the coolest thing if people could just fly me around the world and they pay for my trip while I do a seminar for them or something. And that in my academy, that was only ever my dream. And then the whole UFC thing opened up, and then I was going for a while. Now you see the kids now. They once they get into training, they're already thinking, I want to train and I want to be the best. I want to be the UFC champion. But at that time, it wasn't about that. It was just about martial arts, and everything was way more cliquish too with the jiu-jitsu. And then you had like the Lions Den, the shoot fighters, and you had the wrestlers, and you had the kickboxers and the strikers, and everybody was just for their art and representing their art. I was there trying to represent jiu-jitsu, and I just wanted to do my 3 fights. Joey Gilbert, Joey Gilbert, Din Thomas, Uno, Pulver, beat Pulver, get the belt, stop, never fight again, just teach sometimes, be a businessman, regular person, living a regular desk job. Then people say, oh, you know the UFC, be like, oh yeah, I used to be the champ one day, back in the day. But then Jens beat me, kept me around the game forever, all the way till today. I really was going to retire if I beat Jens. I would have won the Jiu-Jitsu World Championships and the UFC World Championship. But Jens beat me, kept me around the sport all the way till today, kept me going. Just trying to avenge that loss my whole life, still till today, that night, just trying to avenge that night, you know. So that's just how it is, though. But at the end of the day, I know after the whole ride is done and the whole UFC thing and the whole living the dream and all that is done, I am going to go back to what I wanted to do the whole time in the first place, was just teach at a gym and do seminars. So it all is going to come full circle in the end.
You're the first American to go down to Brazil and win Mundials. What kind of accomplishment was that for you?
Well, I remember I went in blue belt, I got second. Reagan ended up getting first. I went back the next year at brown, I got third. And then I went back the next year after that, black belt, and I got first. And I remember when I was in the before the match, like we had time after our semifinal, we were in the finals, we had time to go eat. So I went and ate lunch somewhere, some salad or some chicken and rice. And I remember just sitting there, and it still wasn't my life yet. It still wasn't my life. I was just a regular person. Was good at jiu-jitsu. I just did jiu-jitsu. Oh yeah, I remember eating with Shruta, and I remember just sitting up, and I remember thinking, you know what? I might never be in this position ever again in my whole life, right here for the championship and to be the first foreigner and everything. I told myself, it just clicked to me one day. It's the first time I ever had a thought like that. I just clicked. I said, I might never be in this position again to make this happen, to get a world championship. No matter what you do, no matter what, if your arm breaks, your leg breaks, don't tap. You win this match no matter what you got to do. I went out there and I just made sure to win the match.
Was there ever any moment like that in your MMA career?
Matt Hughes, you know.
The first one?
Yeah.
When no one took you serious?
Yeah.
So why is this crazy guy going to 170 pounds?
Yeah. Same thing. Seize the moment and do it. Nothing else matters. That's how I feel now. I want to get the belt back.
You feel the belt validates you? I mean, do you need that? You never seem like you're that kind of guy.
But you know what it is? It's like when you get the belt, you don't care you have it. Then when it's gone, it's like, oh, it's like my precious. Oh, there it is. Oh, shit. You know, I want it back. But when you got it, you're like, oh, you forget about it. You know what I mean? You don't even think about it twice.
It seems the first Jens Pulver fight, is meaningful in a different way than some of the other ones might be. Pushed you forward in your career. First loss, no one thought you could lose to him. You went out there and came within, as close as you could ever come to winning a fight at the end of the second round, and ended up letting him get off the hook.
Yeah.
Was that your most disappointing moment of your career?
I mean, I just stayed on the couch for like 2 weeks and a days after I lost that fight. Like, how did that happen? How did that happen?
Did you ever believe you could lose?
You don't believe you can lose until you start losing. And then, but you can't truly win unless you know what it feels like to truly lose like that too. When you really need to know how to dig down and bite as hard as you gotta bite, what it takes for win and lose. If you never felt that, you don't know.